What does your mechanic mean when he tells you that your engine has bad timing, and what are the signs and symptoms that you're going to experience if your engine has bad timing? Basically, when it comes to timing or the timing kit, there are two rotating assemblies that your engine is trying to manage using the timing chain. So this right here that you see is called a timing chain. Some other cars will use a belt, but the format is pretty much the same. So basically what the engine is trying to manage with the timing chain is to make sure that the top rotating assembly, so this is the rotating assembly of the camshafts, and the camshafts are basically what your engine uses to open and close the valves inside your engine. So that's the first rotating assembly that your timing chain is managing. The other rotating assembly is at the bottom, which is your crankshaft, and your crankshaft is what is attached to your pistons. So your crankshaft is another rotating assembly that is connected right here at the bottom to your timing chain. But also the other rotating well, this is not really an assembly, this is the oil pump that's also connected to your timing chain, but the oil pump doesn't really need timing. It can rotate at whatever speed and at whichever point, and there's no issue. So what happens when your timing chain, for example, skips a tooth? There are some timing assemblies that will allow that, even if your timing chain for some reason was to skip a tooth. So for example, if your tensioner, which is here, this is what keeps the tension of the chain solid as your engine is running. You don't want your timing chain to have like a lot of play when the engine is running. You don't want the timing chain to be shaking. So your tensioner, which is right here, is what keeps that tension. So if for some reason your tensioner was not able to work and your chain became loose and your engine is moving rapidly, that can cause your timing chain to skip a tooth. And basically what will happen there is your valves may open a bit earlier than they are supposed to and close a bit later than they are supposed to. Some engines will still run, but if your timing goes out of line, like it skips one tooth or something like that, you will notice things like your engine will be misfiring. So that's basically a situation where either there's not enough air fuel mixture that is being allowed into the engine, or the exhaust valves could be opening earlier than they are supposed to. So as the combustion cycle is happening, where your power is supposed to be coming from for your engine, if your exhaust valves open earlier, then the pressure in the cylinders will drop rapidly, and then that will show itself as a loss of power. So if you find that your engine has a loss of power and you've tried everything, you've tried fuel pump, you've tried injectors are running correctly, ignition coils are proper, spark plugs, everything is fine, then you might have an engine that is out of time. But in a lot of cases, most engines just won't start. So if you have a situation where you're trying to start your car and it completely doesn't start, it could be that your timing is wrong. It could be that your chain has either skipped, or when your mechanic was setting the timing and putting the thing back together, they didn't set the timing correctly, and your engine can see that through what is called the crankshaft position sensor. So you see, so that's your crankshaft position sensor. It normally will sit right down here on the cover, and basically what this is it's like a strong magnet that's on the inside, and that magnet picks up a signal from these teeth. As these teeth are passing over the sensor like that, the engine can tell where the crankshaft position is through the crankshaft position sensor. So obviously, because your computer box can see from that sensor, you also get a check engine light, and if you scan it through a diagnosis machine, then it will be able to tell you that your engine has bad timing, and that might be the reason why it's not starting. So that could be another thing that you will notice if your timing chain breaks, or your timing is just out of place because it maybe skipped a tooth, or there's just wrong timing that was done when the engine was being put back together. So then the other question is, how do you get the correct timing on your engine? And basic answer for that is use the user manual for your car. The information is widely available. You can be able to check online 1SZ or 2SZ timing, and you'll be able to see the timing diagram. Normally there will be marks on the camshaft for the intake and the camshaft for your exhaust. There will also be a marking on the crankshaft balancer shaft that is normally connected here, or at some other point on the crankshaft. You will be able to see a timing mark there. So once these are properly timed, then your engine can run perfectly. So now that we know what a timing chain does, and what are some of the issues you can have around it, the other question can be, when do you change your timing chain? Basically, these things can last pretty much the life of the engine, which is about 10 to 15 years. But I know a lot of us drive these things way above the time that is needed. So a basic rule that I follow when it comes to timing chains: obviously if you hear a noise coming from your timing chain assembly, then you should probably have it checked, and if you have the money, get it changed. But on average, with these timing chains, if your car is just used under normal situations, you take care of it, these things can last a very, very long time. But another thing that I learned about was looking at these. These are used for basically the timing of the engine. So if you see that these have lost color, and that usually happens if the engine has been overheating and stuff like that, then you should replace your timing chain. But also another thing is that timing chains do stretch. I know a lot of us think that it's just timing belts that stretch. Timing belts are a bit easier to diagnose, because you can see on a timing belt that it's worn out, it has cracks and stuff like that. But with the timing chain, it's a bit more difficult. So they do stretch, and basically the only way that you will know that is just listening to your car. So if you hear the timing chain rattling a lot, then it might be time for you to change your timing chain in your car. Another thing that we need to talk about when it comes to the timing of your engine is interference and non-interference engines. So these words come into play basically when your timing chain or your timing belt has broken. And when you have an interference engine, that's basically when your pistons are able to come in contact with your valves. Let me go back to this block so that I can explain. So when you have an interference engine, it basically means that if your timing chain or your timing belt was to break, then there is a chance that your valves can actually open and be able to hit into the piston. If I clean this piston up here, I'm not too sure if the 3RZ is an interference engine, but just something that you need to know is there are some engines that, especially low compression ones, if the valves are open and the piston comes up, there's some spaces that will be available for your valves to still be open and not touch the piston. But in most high compression engines, that's your diesel engines and even some petrol engines, high compression being like 10 to 1 going up, those are high compression engines. You find that those are called interference engines because there's no space for the valves to be open and be able to come up and meet with the pistons. So basically what happens in that situation is you're actually going to bend a valve, and what you don't want to do is when your timing chain breaks and you know that your timing chain has broken or your timing belt has broken, you don't want to continue cranking the engine, because you find that yes, your timing chain broke or your timing belt broke, but it didn't bend any of the valves. So it's better you just leave the car parked and you try and see if you can get that sorted out. So if you have an interference engine, then you know that your valves have gone ahead and they've touched the pistons when your timing chain breaks. But if you have a non-interference engine, like I know some Honda engines, like my B20A, that's a non-interference engine. So even if the timing belt breaks, you just go ahead, put a new timing belt, and everything will be fine. So that's another thing that you guys need to know about your timing kit.